That's a good question because that's a very big topic. So what was your opinion when Gussie J came out and started calling you Chuck Sizzle?
Dude, yeah, so I had no idea. Like I got home, like
Yeah.
had no idea. Um, and then people started calling me like the next day when I came in the building. I still had no idea. And they were like, "Did you hear? Did you hear?" And I was like, "What?" And then they told me. And at first I really didn't like it. Um, and then like everyone at school called me it. Um, and then it kind of just stuck. And then at the Big Ten championship game, I met him. I was like warming up, and he was like, he walked past me. I was like getting stretched out, and he walked past me, and then he came back, and he's like, "Charlie," and I was like, and he's like, "Chuck Sudzer, you like the name?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, I love the name." So
That's hype, dude.
yeah,
Dude,
it
that's
grew on me.
like not only having Gus Johnson love calling your name, but like him giving you a nickname like Chuck Sizzle is just so sick.
Yeah,
Like
no, it was
that's
awesome, and he probably didn't even like when probably said it the first time. He's like, "What the hell is Chuck Sudzer?"
yeah.
It just like happened.
Chuck Sizzle.
Yeah, no, but
Awesome.
it definitely grew on me. And
We have
Chuck
the
Sizzle.
former we have the former Rogers Dwight Big Ten return specialist of the year.
yeah,
That's your only accolade we're allowed to
that's
talk
it.
about.
And college graduate from the
You.
University of Iowa.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. It was a
Give it
long
to me.
road. I was a firsthand witness to it. It was a great accomplishment. Chuck worked his
Uh,
butt. He studied almost every night. I
yeah,
mean,
I was at Buffalo for 2 years, and then I was when I was thinking about leaving, I ended up having surgery on my shoulder, and then I like went into the portal, and like no one wanted me. Uh, had no offers, nothing. So I was like, shit, like what am I gonna do now? So I like emailed every school I could possibly think of. No one wanted me. And then I knew Polisek was at Iowa and he was at North Dakota State when I was in high school. So I knew him and I knew Henry. So I was like, all right, like maybe Iowa. So I like reached out to Iowa. Um, and Iowa said that they had a walk-on spot. And I knew like guys at Iowa who've walked on like I didn't know them personally, but I just knew like stories of, like people walking on there and playing like easily, and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, like if I'm doing the walk on route, I'm gonna go to Iowa. Um, so that's how I got there.
let's
Yeah,
go.
so and then your COVID year was your breakout return year.
Yeah, COVID.
Were you still a walk
Strictly,
on at that point?
yeah, yeah, up until like the last game of the year. But yeah, I was just returning punts.
How'd they tell you got a scholarship?
Dude, KF, I think it was Wisconsin week. KF, middle of practice. Like he's walking through the 50-yard line. He like pulls me over and he was like, he was just like casually just like, yeah, you're on scholarship. Um, it was awesome. It was awesome. And I think two other guys that same practice got put on. I can't remember who. I think Joe Evans.
It was.
Said, you can wear the shoes, but you'll never fill them.
That's right.
No, I said you can wear the cup, but you'll never fill it.
The cup is actually shaped like like a miniature, overly curved banana.
Cut it.
Like the one that stood out the most is why I wore the shirt. Every kick counts. Before the season started, you donated $6,000 to Tori's Every Kick Counts campaign.
Yeah. We did Reggie, Lee Sean and I did a little camp for like underprivileged youth in Cedar Rapids and I think Davenport. and yeah, they offered to pay us for it, and I don't know. I just felt like helping youth is not necessarily something that I need to be compensated for. So yeah, it was good. It was great cause, obviously, and Tori's doing a lot of really cool stuff. So is Keith with all that. So glad to help. You just got like prime media. I'm kind of jumping back and forth between my media.
Yeah, I don't like that. I mean, that was a great answer. I love that.
That was a great answer. Yeah,
It's starting to sound too much like media. Spence,
that's a goalie.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Sam is like extremely talented, and I don't know if it's my place to say, but I'd put him toe to toe with TJ, and that's saying quite a bit. Obviously, TJ's bigger, but Sam's a really good player. Obviously, he's really damn good. And Luke, like it'll be cool to see like as a like more primary guy, but I don't think he dropped a single ball a year. Like he's like 6'11", like he's huge. I don't know. It's gonna be exciting, and I know Eric's really good player too, and we got some other guys, so it'll be cool to see.
Golden Gavel Award winner. We have yes. We'll get that.
I thought it was just like a toy you had. I didn't know.
How'd that happen? Who gave you that?
Scott gave me this.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I left a place above my bed.
Hold that up.
For either the Heisman or the Davey O'Brien. But now I have the Golden Gavel.
I would actually argue that that's the higher award.
If you knew me and like really like knew like my family, like dude, I was an Iowa fan like forever. Like dude, in 5th grade, like I had people like I'd always wear my Iowa stuff. Like I'm a little 5th grader wearing my Iowa stuff around with so I have a twin sister, and we'd wear it around all the time. And you'd have like old people come up like, oh, get that, like they wouldn't say shit, but like get that stuff off your shirt. That's disgusting. I'm like, dude, like chill out. But like if you knew me, like, dude, if an Iowa coach, and I like told my dad this and like my mom, like when we had like to talk about like me playing college football and stuff, like if an Iowa coach comes into like the school, like, and they give me an opportunity, like I'm going 100%. The only reason I wouldn't have went to Iowa is if it was to help my family out. And like, if I would have got a scholarship to play Division I football, and that could have been anywhere. But like, if everything was even, like Iowa was my choice, like by far, like not even a debate so much. And like, I actually ended up like performing like pretty well and like was making a lot of plays at the end. And then, I'm in the linebacker meeting room. This is like one of the funniest stories. So I'm in the meeting room and we're watching tape. Like Coach Wass is going through the tape, like with the ones. And then he gets to the twos. And like, I'm obviously playing it at the end. And he's like, hey, Evans, are you in here? And like, he said it like that. And I'm like sitting there and I'm like, dude, like, what the fuck? And I'm like scared shitless. I'm like, yeah, like I'm right here. And he's like, he goes, well, get your things and get out of here. And I'm like, what? I'm like, all right. And he's like, Evans, what did I just tell you? Get your shit and get out of here, right? And I'm like, all right. I'm like grabbing my stuff. He's like, it's a good thing, Evans. He's like, 2 doors down. Go join the D-line room. And I'm like, sweet. So I was pumped up.
That's high.
Nah, I mean, it's just like that's how like Coach Wass is, and like, dude, he is seriously like one of my favorite coaches of all time. Like he's just the man.
The man.
And so like I end up going in the D-line room and like I walk in and like all like the D-line, like I remember AJ being like, what's up, Joe? Yeah. Like he was like all pumped up for me to be in there. And like Chauncey was excited. Like it was just like a good experience. One of the greatest like stories ever. Pick the ball up, run for a touchdown. The story I'm going to tell you is So I go home every Thursday, and I told like the media this too, but every Thursday I go home and like have dinner with my family because they live in Iowa City now, and having dinner with my dad. And my dad literally like is on his like he like saw on his phone like where the tickets are, and they were in the end zone. My dad has never said this, I shit you not, and he goes, "Hey, you know, I was thinking like maybe you could score a touchdown, and when you score it, just hand the ball to me." So I swear to God, I'm running the ball in the end zone thinking about, do I go hand the ball to him? And I didn't, because obviously it's a flag. Like I'm going to get 15 yards and Coach Parker's going to be just screaming at me.
Oh, yeah.
But, dude, it was like the craziest, like, no way that happened, because like I like throw the ball down like this, and I'm like looking like this, and I'm like staring at my parents.
As an alumni, it's so wild to like be a part of a program that has such a long history. Like to have a history that goes back to the 2000s, like 20 years of history, right? And as an alumni, it's like Brian's an alumni. He's 12 years older than I am. But it's like, I know what he went through, right? I know exactly what he went through. He knows exactly what we're going through as an offensive line, and he can connect with us on that level, right? It's like, yes, he's my coach, love him dearly, but like, I honestly like see him like a brother. Like all of the former players, like I just see as brothers, right? Because we went through the shit, right? It's not easy. Like college football isn't meant to be easy, man. Like if it was meant to be easy, there would be people recruited, from all age levels, right? Like people, it's hard, right? And if you can make it through 5 years of Iowa football, like at the end of the 4 or 5 years, you have the best of the best human beings that you will ever meet in your life. I promise you that. Like best, most well-rounded individuals, right? And Brian knew that, right? And Brian knew that if he could, uncover the layers under you, right? Dig into you a little bit and like be like, man, hey, you got to keep going. And he would yell at me like, Landon Paulson, what are you freaking doing? Blah, 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 this and that and the other. Every single day it felt like. But when Brian complimented you, you felt like you're on top of the world. Like it's like he meant it. He could see the improvement. It was like genuine. It's like, and he did it to everybody. It wasn't like he had any favorites. Everybody was on the same playing field. Nobody got compliments, but when you did get complimented, he called you out and said, "Hey man, that's a really freaking nice job. You're doing a great job." Yeah. But for me, Brian like went through it. He went through it, and that's what makes him a great coach. Is that
etc. And I'm like, that is so cool. But I just love the thought process behind it. So when we came back from spring break, I told Landon, I said, this crawfish boil, it's good eating, good food. And I think we should do it here. And so the next spring rolls around, it's spring ball, and Landon and I bought all the stuff for it. And we're like, I feel like our Streb house was always just kind of like the place where people stop by. We always told people we had an open door policy. So if we're driving home to or from class or whatever, just come on in and talk and grab a coffee, whatever you want to do. Just come hang out, come chill. And I mean, we had people stop by all the time. So anyway, we're like, yeah, guys, after spring ball, after the spring game, we're going to throw a crawfish boil. It's going to be about $10 a person. If you guys want to come, it should be a riot. So watched a couple of YouTube videos, and the first one was unbelievable. We actually held it at Werf's house, but it was previous to that. It was Josie Jules, Bo Bowers. I think Kittle lived there for a little bit.
Mike Bugger.
Yeah.
Mike Bugger.
Before you guys leave, you guys have to do this. This is for some of our listeners. This is for just a couple of my buddies, actually, but people will probably think it's funny.
Yeah, man.
You gotta give me a little auctioneer action.
All right here we got 25, now 30, 25, not a better 25, but get 30 to 5, 5 to 35, 40, 40, better than 40 to buy. Buy, $40 down here, and 45. I got 15 to 45, $45 down here. Here we go. $45 better than 45. I got 50 going twice here. Where you at? Sold them $50. Put it on buyer number 82,155. 82,155.
Very curious, and you were always big learners, but like you guys knew every single person in our facility's names. And it's when I'm trying to think from the outside, you don't really understand it. Like you don't really think about it. But then like when you are able to, if you go out of your way and be like, hey, what's your name, by the way? And like they tell you your name, and then you see them every day and you say, hey, so-and-so, and then you develop a relationship with them. Perfect example, Doug, the janitor, the man, coolest dude. You guys were always the first people who saw him. When you see him, you could say his name. He knew you guys very well. And when you're on the opposite side of that and someone goes out of their way to be like, hey, what's your name, by the way? And you tell them it, and they constantly start saying your name, and you develop that relationship. It makes you feel good.
Oh yeah, man.
When you're in a like, for example, an environment like that, being able to have a relationship with people that aren't even on the team technically, but they are a part of what we're doing, it makes them feel good. It makes them feel like it is a sense of community, and that's what was so fun. I think when you guys were there, like our team was so much fun and so tight because everyone cared about everyone in the building. It wasn't just in the team. And I think you guys were a perfect example of that. And like, I try to do that in like everyday life, going out of the way. Like if I'm going to a place a lot and I don't know someone's name, and I try and learn their name and then try and get a relationship with them, I just think that's such a cool way about life. Like it makes life so much more enjoyable and interesting. Like, why not learn people's names? Why not learn more about them? Like, I get so deep into this.
Max, I got a story.
That's such a good concept to like learn.
It is.
Yeah, man. And me and Levi have kind of thrown around the idea of starting a podcast. And
you guys should.
You should.
We haven't done it yet, but we have kept this list of people growing up, just from the time we were probably in middle school to now, right? We just keep this list of people, right? And we gauge people based off of this list, and it's called the good shit list. Right? We're like, we have these people on this list that we're like, you know, hey, I met this person today, and like, man, they're a candidate to be on the good shit list, you know. And it's like, when I think of somebody on the good shit list, I think about somebody who was 5 years at the University of Iowa football, right? And I think of like mentors of mine that I just like emulate and like just look up to like no other. But like I read this book this summer called, I just went to this, you know, on the sidewalks, they have those little community book shelves.
Yep.
Went in it, opened it, grabbed this one random book, like don't know why I did, and I opened it to this.
Yeah. Another cool thing about that play is like that was Keegan's coming out party, I feel like, where everybody realized like this dude could really freaking play.
Mm-hmm.
And for that play to work, he had to run like a post and like take his guy out the play. And he said he never ran faster in his whole entire life. And you could see him on the film like just cooking and like their defense chasing after him. And then on the camera that's like up by my face, everyone's like coming up to me, like dapping me up and everything. And then Spencer comes up to me and you could hear him like on the video say like, I freaking love you, dude. Like in the video, it's just a cool moment that we share together. He tweeted about Riley first because Riley like shit on New Haven pizza. And I was like, this fucking guy's tweeting about Riley. I was all like pissed about it. And then he tweeted saying whatever, at least this guy like knows what he's talking about, which I thought was pretty cool. Because
at least this kid isn't an idiot.
Yeah, like this guy Riley shitting on New Haven pizza and talking about his Casey's pizza. I was like, and he's stupid, man, ridiculous.
Playing in Kinnick Stadium for who I think is the best coach in in all of college football. But yeah, growing up, I came to quite a few games. Always dreamt of playing here, and I mean, I'm having fun now. Putting on the black and gold, running out of the tunnel. I mean, that first time you run out of the tunnel, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, you don't even know what to do. You get goosebumps. Everybody's screaming, and you still get that same feeling every single time. I mean, and the fans are crazy. Especially when we got them backed up in that north end zone, and the fans are right on top of the offense. It gets freaking loud down there, but I'm enjoying it. I mean, I'm having a lot of fun living out my dream, playing alongside some great guys. So it's been a lot of fun so far.
Coop, you gotta be a Swarm member, man.
Can I join it? Is that like a thing?
I'm pretty sure you can, if you really wanted to.
Oh yeah. Let the people know how to join. We could shout out the Swarm on this episode.
I think you just got to go to the website and just sign up. I think there's like different deals.
Swarm Iowa.
It's iowaswarm.com.
The amount of money
Yeah,
varies.
it just says join the Swarm.
Oh
You
yeah.
can do it. It looks like you can just they give you you can be a champions, ambassador, all conference, all American, or captain's club, and they're each different types of like donations, anywhere from 200 to 10,000, and they give you all different
like benefits, right?
Yeah.
So Summit and Airliner, they don't let you in unless you're under 21. So I'm way over that limit at that point. So I can't even like look into those bars. But I got a funny story about him too. But I asked him like day 3 of camp. Like I made like a lot of mistakes that day. I remember like I stopped running on a route and Cade threw it to me, and then Cooper DeJean picked it off. So like I'm like real down on myself after that. I'm like, fuck, dude. Like I fucked that up. He's never gonna trust me again. Like I'm just thinking of the worst. So I just like Luke is my guy. So I'm like, Luke, like how was practice today? And he just like he didn't have any catches that day, and he was like, I mean, I didn't have any catches, but like I don't care. Like as long as the offense did good, and the offense did really good today. I'm like, Luke, you don't have to tell me that, dude. I guy ever. Like I really wasn't even asking if you had catches. Like I just want to know how you felt like running routes. Like say something stupid to me, you know. But he's just that's really him. Like he's not even being fake. Like he's genuinely the biggest team first guy, which is nice. I thought he was like a 5th year, 6th year guy. I thought he was my age. I just found out he turned 19 like 3 weeks ago.
Holy shit!
Yeah, he's massive. You know, like Newton's third law, like
Has Spence
motion. Like when he scrambles, I don't know if people are taking him down.
has Spence given him the talk yet? Where he's like, "Listen, man, I know you got a cannon, but you'll never be able to out throw me."
I don't know. Deacon may have them. They both got pretty good arms. They could both sling it for sure. Deacon, no. Cade's quarterback coach just lives in California, so he like hooked us up with Airbnbs. The tight ends had their Airbnb. Luke and Eric, they like stayed in this Airbnb. Like it was no joke, like over the water. And then next to them were some of the receivers. And then a couple of us stayed with Cade, and we like stayed in Mark Sanchez's house. It was pretty crazy.
That's
awesome. It was nice. It was a good time. We grinded out there, and then the last day we had a little bit of fun. It was a good time just to like really get to know all of the guys, because like I don't know, being a 6-year guy, all my friends pretty much have left. So like I really don't know these guys that much. So just like getting to let loose a little bit and like going.
It's really just it feels the same no matter who you're playing. But you know the video.
I was just gonna
they're playing the video in the locker room.
Dude,
kind of driving everyone a bit crazy.
And they didn't do it last year, right?
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, they didn't. And today was the first day.
Well, at least they're doing it. They probably realized, oh my gosh, we haven't played it
For,
all.
for the audience, explain what the video is they play.
We're gonna
what is it?
We're gonna bring the hammer,
break the rock. And I'll
Yeah,
tell you
and it's
what,
just like
you
5
rock,
linemen
man.
or something just talking, like 4 or 5 Iowa State linemen just talking shit.
It's not even like it's not the type of video where you see it and you're like, this pisses me off. It was to the point where like they'd play it every single day of practice, like every single, like when you're in the facility that they're playing it.
It's like a 15-second reel on repeat.
Yeah. So like it's not even like, dude, screw this dude. It's like, this is the most annoying thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, literally, exactly.
And like when you're in the weight room and they're playing the old this is a cyclone weather alert.
Yeah, they were playing that this morning, and that actually plays before like the linemen like say all that shit too.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I am very excited for the game. It's just like you can't beat it. It's one of the best atmospheres there is because it doesn't really affect me too much. But I just think it is pretty cool that big Donald Trump's coming to the game.
It's wild.
It would be awesome if they just pan to him and he's wearing one of those corn hats on his head.
Yeah.
Like a full cob.
They turned to him like after we went and they were singing the fight song. And he's like, "What?" Like he's going nuts to the fight.
Yeah.
Every word.
I hope he's out on the field pre-game because I really want to get a picture.
That would be
you know,
quite
like,
a country collab right there.
It's weird, right? Because even if like Tom Brady or something like came to our game, I'd be like, "Hey, like, what's up, man?" Like Ashton Kutcher came to the game a couple of years ago, and it's like, "Yeah, like, what's up, dude?" But I would never really get a photo with him because I think that's weird. But like when Donald Trump is at the game, you kind of have to, don't you? Because when are you going to see?
When we go to Penn State, not because of obviously the game, the atmosphere, but the Ramada that we always stay in since 1990, since 1999, since Coach Ferentz got there. This little Ramada, it is like the most quaint little hotel you could ever find, and it's been around since like it seems like the 60s, and we stay there, and it's hilarious. It's hilarious. Coach Ferentz, Pennsylvania guy. And it's just, it's funny. It's funny that we do that. But again, like that atmosphere, everything about it, it's great. And everyone should be excited going into Penn State, especially a whiteout, like the honor. They always say all the whiteouts, their biggest game of the year. Fans love it. It's like they're having the whiteout for us. Yeah, we're coming to town. Like that's an honor. That's a privilege. We're ready to go.
And the crazy thing, the record's not good in the whiteout game. Question: is that hotel thing? Is that a Kirk Ferentz thing, or do away teams always stay there?
That's definitely a Coach Ferentz thing, 100%. I can't imagine. Awesome. I can't imagine Michigan staying at that hotel.
No, they're staying at a Ritz. They're definitely staying at a Ritz Carlton or some shit.
Head, don't you have? Is it your story? It would have had to have been 2018 when you guys are coming out of the tunnel, and above you they have like the cage, basically.
Oh yeah, it's the. So it's funny. So the locker room at Penn State, it's like underneath the stands, and it's literally like chain link fence. It's hilarious, and they like open up the chain link fence. It's like what you see in a backyard. And then literally once you walk out of that stadium, they're on you. Fans are on you. And God, I mean, it's just a great atmosphere.
El Rey's sponsored Athlete of the Week. I want to give the El Rey's Athlete of the Week to Brian Ferentz.
That video is hilarious. Like so funny. I don't know. Like it's not even like anyone else probably doesn't even think that's funny, but just seeing him jump, oh my gosh, dude!
He is so for the fans. You can tell. Like I'm starting to love Brian Ferentz. I think I have like a man crush on Brian Ferentz.
No, I could go on and on. Brian is the man. Like one of the coolest dudes of all. Like for example, I don't know if I've told this story. Me and my buddy made this SoundCloud rap long time ago. And my name was MC Schlong. And Brian found out about it. I don't know how. We deleted it. Everything was gone. and he found out about it in like team meetings. He would like point at me in a play and be like, "What do you think of this, Schlong?" Like I was strictly Schlong for like the last 2 years of my career after he found that out. Like he's just the coolest. Like he's just a bro. Like he's just the man. He's a great dude, and I love Brian. I love Brian till the day I die. He's an absolute man.
It's been so interesting covering Iowa though too, just because they're passionate about football and basketball, and there's a lot of really good stories at Iowa. I mean, since I've been here, I mean, think about Caitlin Clark on the women's basketball side, right? You think about Luka Garza, what he did. You think about, look, I know, and I've always said this too. Imagine if you took Phil Parker's defense and Fran McCaffrey's offense and you put them together on the same team.
Be unstoppable.
That'd probably be the greatest dynasty that's ever hit college athletics, right? Honestly. Right. And then LeVar Woods, of course, on special teams. Because I think he is starting to get some attention around the nation, but LeVar Woods and what he does on special teams at such a high level, it's always been one of the more interesting and I think underappreciated storylines when it comes to Iowa, because I've never seen a guy go through that much film on strictly special teams. And then, if a punt block happens, if a kickoff return happens, punt return happens, after the game, the players always say, "Oh, LeVar Woods saw that on film." I still think, I don't want to say they're the Big Ten West favorites. It's going to be whoever wins the Wisconsin-Iowa game is going to win the Big Ten West. Yeah. But the Big Ten West is without a doubt the worst division I've ever seen in my entire life. I think it's worse than the ACC when Virginia won it, when they went 7-6, I think, that season. The floor, I still think, is 8 wins in the regular season because of how bad that schedule is. But some of the quote-unquote gimme games are locks. They're not locks anymore. And I think that's where we're really going to be kind of, Iowa's going to be tested. And that's where I'm really intrigued to see how this team responds over the next couple of weeks, because I think Iowa has to win this weekend. I think they have to win next weekend. And we'll see what happens when they go into Wisconsin.
I played more at punt return than I did receiver. And Coach Woods dials some crazy shit up. Like, he knows everything. And, like you said, I think he is getting the attention he deserves now that they're starting to see how good our special teams actually is. And it's not just, like, the key role players on our special teams being, like, a punt return and a kick return, but it's, like, the gunners and the front blockers on a kick return. Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. Like, I actually just had a video come up, my Snapchat memories of, like, all the punt returners the day. So it was the Wednesday night practice, or the Wednesday practice. That night we go into his room, watch like an hour of film. Him just like watching every single play from the punters that were playing.
Yeah.
And, like, all their tendencies, where they're kicking it. And like when I get in there, he'd be coaching some of the guys on like kick return. And I have a video of him and like him coaching Castro to do something on kickoff, but he's going full speed against him in the hallway. Like, it was hilarious. Like, it was, but like that's the type of coach he is. Like, he's very intense in what he does. He knows what he's doing, and he makes sure that person he's coaching knows what they're doing too. So it's pretty wild.
But no, do you even want to play in the Big Ten championship, man? I would give one of my legs to have played in a Big Ten championship game. And we were close a couple times, and could never get there. And yeah, I mean, the East is a stronger division. It has been ever since back when they split the conference in two with the Legends and Leaders divisions. I mean, shoot, that was probably 12 years ago plus. I don't think the West has ever won a single one. But I've also been around football to know that you get 2 Division I football teams together and you play one game. Were we supposed to beat Ohio State by 35 in 2017? No, matter of fact, I think we were supposed to lose by like 35. And most of the people saying that have never competed for anything in their life. Right, if we're being totally honest. Like,
seriously.
Like, I mean, yeah, no, look, if we go and play Michigan, Ohio State, or Penn State again, like, we probably will, like, statistically, you could say like we probably will lose by multiple scores, and it might just be an absolute bloodbath like it was last time. It could happen, but you want to be in that fight. And like you said, fight to the, I mean, you'd rather be home on the couch?
Yeah.
I don't, I don't get it. I mean, you dance with who brung you. You are who you are. You know, you work all off season, run sprints, lift, you do everything from the time that you're, you know, in a lot of cases for these guys, you know, 5 years old, dreaming of playing big time college football, or more specifically for a lot of them for the Hawks. And this, you know, do we even want to go to the Big Ten? It's either a bunch of just absolute morons who have never competed for anything, or they're just being over dramatic and throwing a pity party, and you know, like they want to just. It's like it feels good to them to, you know, whatever. But no, that do you even want to play in the Big Ten championship, man? I would give one of my legs to have played in a Big Ten championship game, and we were close a couple times, and you know, could never get there. And yeah, I mean, the East is a stronger division. It has been ever since back when they split the conference in two with the Legends and Leaders divisions. I mean, shoot, that was probably 12 years ago plus. I don't think the West has ever won a single one. Yeah, but I've also been around football to know that you get two Division I football teams together and you play one game. Were we supposed to beat Ohio State by 35 in 2017? No, matter of fact, I think we were supposed to lose by like 35.
I think that one song is called 22. I was like, whoa, you know.
That's an old song, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's like 2012. That's like circa when Taylor Swift was just running it. I mean, she still is, but
that song probably everyone knows now, just strictly when somebody turns 22, they put it on their Instagram.
Yeah, probably. That Bad Blood, dude. There's so many. I mean, she does have some bangers. I will say. I'm not saying she's like incredible, but
not quite there yet.
You might be close. You might be the Livy Dunn, the Livy Dunn of Iowa right now.
You think so?
Or you're the pitcher. Who's the pitcher that dates Livy Dunn?
Paul Skeens.
Paul Skeens, and then Clark's the Livy Dunn. I mean, she's bigger than Livy Dunn, but
yeah.
Can we at least draw up a play that maybe you like slip on Brian's desk? Like, we'll give it to you on Saturday.
Yeah, I can try to get it on his desk, maybe. Yeah.
I feel like they're gonna use you somehow. There's no way they don't.
You guys got something drawn up already, or no?
We'll think of
something. Hey, we got a car ride to Iowa City on Friday. We'll draw something.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll post our playbook with any plays you're in it.
Yeah.
And dude, it's interesting. I was sitting in the hotel, Western Michigan, right? And I was watching the golf. Like, who knows? I'm a big golfer, and I think it was the BMW Championship that week, I think. And there was one hole, right? You know, where it was like tight. It was out of bounds left. Like, if you miss left, you're absolutely cooked. And you know, because so everyone's just hitting 3-wood after 3-wood after 3-wood. Some guys are hitting driving iron. Right, and John Rahm like steps up on the tee with driver. I'm like, holy shit! Like, this guy's hitting fucking driver down this hole, and I kid you not, he just absolutely piped it down like the left side of the fairway, absolutely perfect. But had he missed like 10 yards left, he was out of bounds. And that was one thing that was kind of just like, yeah, this guy's got balls of steel, but he just knows his shot. You know what I mean? Like, he's has that much confidence in his own ability, and that was one thing I was just like, you know what, like this guy really, really knows his shot. I've kind of learned a lot from that one golf swing, and obviously John Rahm 11 will never know, but very grateful to him because I'm just
the elephant in the room. How is the emotions in the sideline after Eric?
Dude, it was pretty flattering, you know. He's because I don't know whether I've said it before. He's one of my favorite teammates I've ever met. You know, like we golfed a bit over the summer and things like that, but he's just a great dude and a great leader. And the way he leads is, he's not one of those guys that, hey, like, what are you effing doing that for? He's one of those guys that says, hey, like, I've seen you do better than that.
Yeah.
And he's just one of those guys that you'll love to play with. So it was heartbreaking to see him go down with that injury on the weekend. But, you know, like, that's football and there's really not much you can do about it. And he's been in great spirits as well, which is, still a positive. It's funny, like, what I said, I was like, you're good, man. He's like, yeah. He's like, they could have snapped my leg in half and they're not going to get to my heart ever or something like that. I was like, damn, I love that. I was like, let's go, Big E. But yeah, like winning the Big Ten Special Teams Player of the Week, like everyone else deserves that just as much as me. Like, yeah, I'm the one punting the ball, but like Luke Elkin is so fucking good at snapping and running down and causing like fair catches or making the returner have to go east and west. And a lot of that stuff is overlooked a lot of the time. So I always just kind of say to Luke, like, hey, like, dude, like, let's just keep doing our thing because I'm not saying we're going to win this game, but what we do, the way we play is going to go a long way to helping them. So let's just keep doing our thing. And yeah, Luke's a hell of a long snapper, great dude as well. So I was just really proud of everyone on the team in general, really, because not many guys gave us a chance going in there. So yeah, it was just a great.
All those dudes now.
They're just normal dudes, yeah.
Like if you just saw a shot like with the long hair, like don't know him, you're like, oh, that's what college football's about.
Yes.
Like lineman, long hair, knee. He's got the Don joints on. You're like, oh, this dude's about to hit. And then you get to know him, and it's like that's like the funniest dude you know.
Yeah, they got the land sharks rolling.
Shit to whatever tight end is coming to Iowa. Linebacker U is very much in the cards right now.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to tell people. We might not say much, but we're coming. That's how it sound like prime time, didn't it?
That's right, it did.
I mean, kid could have went anywhere, and I know when I'm at Iowa, I'm preaching defense, and I'm telling them we're going to coach your heart. It's going to get a great education. We're going to make it feel like home. And I saw his parents, and they knew me, and I think I'm 4 for 4. No, I'm 4 for 5 in recruiting.
Who'd you lose?
I'm a dude.
Who'd you lose?
Who'd I lose? It was a D lineman who went to Arkansas State. So I'm not mad. What I mean? Like I don't even know what that means. Like cool.
Yeah,
like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got a D in from Texas. He's coming in. I got another tight end. Easy sell. I mean, they put me with the player panel with just him and his parents. Easy. I mean, I'm in there chatting them. Me, Deontay Craig, Luke Lachey, Y.A. Black.
You leaving DeGene off?
I'm saying my grade. I'm saying
okay.
my grade. But if we're throwing Coop in there, that's game. We're throwing Coop in there, that's game.
That was probably like the best 4 plays of football in my life. That's like honestly like a dream. Just lining up on the 1 yard line and then to stop an opponent. I mean, that's just the most emotion I think I've ever showed on the football field. It just meant everything to me right there. It was awesome.
He's been he keeps telling me that these past like couple weeks. He's like, "Oh, you look like second or third year Nico these past couple weeks. Like, you look fast out there." So I don't know what I've been doing differently. I guess our offense has kind of been practicing better these past couple weeks. I feel like the Wednesday of the Northwestern week we like had our best practice of the year for the group that's been playing, and we've kind of just been rolling with it.
Because I know, I'm sure you've thought about it plenty of times, but it probably hasn't set in. Like, knowing that when this game is over, you're never going to play at Kinnick again. Is it weird thinking about that?
Oh, dude, it's crazy. Oh, it's absolutely crazy to think about that. I was saying today to a couple of the guys, it was really hard when I left Australia to come to America, but I always knew that Australia would always be there. Whereas this time, I'm never going to be able to play in Kinnick football stadium ever again. Like, no matter what happens in life. Like, yeah, I'll be able to come back and get on the field, hopefully with the guys and things like that. But I'm never going to put the Iowa uniform on and go out there and punt in front of 70,000, which I really, really enjoyed. Like, that's never going to happen again. So yeah, it is pretty bizarre feeling, I suppose.
For a while I wasn't even leaving the facility, trying to get back, just doing stuff constantly in the training room. Like, I was doing my homework in there, like all this stuff so I could try to get back as soon as I can. And I'm just kind of living in there. So it's been good. And I feel really good. So, it's kind of been paying off. So I'm just going to continue to do that. And I will say it's just like really cool that like all the teammates and all the guys still vote me as captain like every week, like that means a lot. I feel like it just like shows I'm kind of doing things right, like trying to still help out as much as I can. And after the game, Joe Evans came up to me and he was like, "You helped out so much during this. It may not seem like it, but you're a big part of this." And, I appreciated that. So, it's pretty cool.
Laporta.
Oh my.
The tight end.
Where is he? Where is that? I can't even point to.
Is he on there now?
Right there. He's on the wall. You see it?
Let's go.
Oh yeah, front and center.
Who knows? Yeah, right there at the front. It's pretty sick.
That's pretty fun.
I came back from no, it wouldn't have been right after winter break, but I swear I'd come in like once a week when we were just doing winter training. So we'd only work out. We don't have any meetings for a while. I'd come in and just peek my head in. And I was like, oh, they haven't updated it yet. Then pro day came around, like it's like after spring break, and I popped in. I was like, "Oh, Sam's on there." I ran down there, and I was like, "Sam, do you see her on the wall on there?" He was like about to do pro day, I think. So it was like I was completely taking his mind off of things.
Knows it, and
it's free Noah Shannon.
Sucks. It absolutely sucks.
Yeah,
but the fact that they had him as captain's cool as shit.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. Yeah, I mean, you just couldn't really ask for anything better. And his last home game at Kinnick, we got to go out there. And I was walking up and I was like, hey, we were walking back up after warm-ups. I was like, wait, hey, do you want to be the speaking captain? Like trying to make it as best as he could for him. And he's like, yeah, heck yeah, I'll do that. And so I was just like, he's like, what do I got to do? It's like, just say if we want the ball, we're probably going to take the ball. So just say we want the ball, and which if they win and they want the ball, then tell them which way we're kicking. It was like pretty, obviously very straightforward. But like it was awesome for him. He came in and gave us a great speech to us, and just kind of told us how much he appreciated us, and it was great. And I heard Joe say it fired him up for the game, and it was awesome. So.
Insane, like getting here like literally a week before the end of camp, not kicking a single in-game field goal. And then he's an Iowa legend with one kick with 7 seconds left in the Nebraska game a week ago. So obviously, and then Ethan getting that game-winning interception, basically getting us in field position. It was exciting just seeing guys who might not get the attention that they deserve, like get put in the spotlight and having their moment. So. We definitely celebrated that, and then like you say, keeping Nebraska out of a bowl game is always extra motivation. It's a good thing too.
Yeah,
it's like, hey, they want me to come be the face. Like I'm starting day one. Like all that stuff sounds really good. But at the end of the day, really, because what most people don't know is like the day after my Iowa official visit, I came up here in June of 2019, and then Higgins committed like as we were at the airport leaving the official visit. He like called and submitted his like commitment, posted about it and everything. And like the next day I'm in bed, I'm like, I don't want to miss out on this. Like I'm calling Coach Bell right now. I'm committing. So I thought about it. I texted him like Coach Bell later that night. I was like, I think I'll be ready in the morning. And then he was like, what time are you free? Like, I'll get all the coaches together and like I'll FaceTime and you can tell them all together. And I stayed up all night, like thinking about it. That next morning, Coach Bell texts, he's like, you free? I'm like, Coach, I think I might jump the gun a little bit. I need some more time to think about it. They're playing us 5 and 6. We just clinched the West, and they're at home on senior day. So it's like, what better chance for them to spoil our momentum and clinch a bowl game in their coach's first year? So I think, honestly, like, dudes had a great week of practice. Like, we were super locked in. Like, we knew what we had to go over there and do. But obviously, you can't prepare for other factors that come into the game and things that they want to do. But I mean, like you said, dude, our guys are tough. We're a resilient group. Like regardless of what happens, I mean, we just somehow find a way, and that's what we were able to do. And we went out there and earned another trophy.